Got a minute, Jack?
Rose?
I found some information on where Solid Snake is interred.
Great. Shoot.
I've located the gravesite.
And the body?
Exhumed for DNA testing.
Well, do you have the results?
The right arm was missing, but there was no doubt that it was him. That body belongs to Solid Snake.
So the head of the terrorist group must be...
An imposter.
Definitely
Right.
not.
You sound disappointed.
I guess I was kind of hoping to meet the legend in the flesh.
I get you. But it looks like he's not behind this incident.
Raiden, the president needs you, I think. Disguise yourself as enemy personnel and infiltrate the core section. Your priority is to contact Agent Ames.
All right, first things first, we're going to go ahead and equip our new BDU. We're going to switch over to our SOCOM so we can take out this camera. This is going to be useful for later coming back through here. Make sure you have your AK out, because if you do not, then you will automatically fail this stealthy section here. We're going to switch over to the SOCOM here and take out this camera as well. It just makes things coming back much, much simpler. You also want to make sure that you avoid all enemies during this. If you accidentally touch them at all, your disguise will ruin. Pick up those chaff grenades there, and we're also going to pick up some M9 bullets and head over here. We're going to pick up these SOCOM bullets because obviously we're really, really low, so therefore we do need them for taking out some of the ciphers up ahead. Here, we're going to come around the corner and check out where this guy is. We're going to take out this camera as well. This camera necessarily isn't as important to take out as, say, the other cameras that we did, but it will definitely make this entire section significantly easier when you're coming through. So go ahead and take that out, and then make sure you have your AK equipped before going to this camera. And you can enter to the next area. We're going to go down to B2 first. We need to pick up the directional mic. This section really is important that you try your hardest to not touch anyone. If you follow the route that I do, then you shouldn't have any problems. You don't need to take anyone out here. You don't need to mess with anyone whatsoever. This guard that you see right there, he does a scripted thing once you pick up the directional mic, and he'll start running through like you've been caught. Don't get fooled by that. This call is only saying you have the mic, now you can use it, so we don't really need to listen to it. You'll see a little cutscene here that'll show that the guy starts kind of running as if you've been discovered or something, so don't get fooled by that. I'm sure a lot of people probably did their first time playing it. And we're just going to head to B1, which is where you will need to subdue, or should I say, interrogate a guard or grab a guard and use them for the retinal scanner. Pretty easy to do. It's just you got to make sure you know the controls. You got to make sure that you get up behind him. You do not have a weapon equipped, and you hold the... Well, see, I'm playing the PS2 version, however, I'm playing it on PC, so therefore, for me, it is using an Xbox controller, so I'm holding the X button, where for you guys, if you're playing on the PS2, it's going to be the square button, so use whatever controller, you have. So we're going to make a little noise there, wait for him to come. You can just get up against this wall or get out of the way so he doesn't touch you. As soon as he passes, go ahead and unequip AK, hold him down. You have to hold the button down, the square or X button, depending on your system, and then we can make our way into the next area. Easy peasy so far, a lemon squeezy, like a glove.
Raiden, one of those hostages in there is Ames. The only thing we know is that Ames wears a pacemaker. His heartbeat should sound different from other people's, so use the directional microphone to locate him. Once you recognize Ames by his heartbeat, keep the microphone pointed toward him. Then push the action button and call out to him. If it really is Ames, he should respond in some way.
What if it's the wrong person?
The guards may get suspicious and come running instead. Security could get tighter, too.
Try to be sure before you take the risk.
Don't call out to a hostage with the action button until you're fairly sure that it's Ames. If you do make a mistake, switch the microphone for an AK and get out of there before a guard gets suspicious. If you're discovered inside, they'll cut off your retreat and call in the reinforcements. You won't make it out of the room. The mission will be over if you're discovered. Don your disguise and look for Ames while deflecting the enemy's suspicion.
So I can't tell you where the guy's going to be on yours. However, on mine, he was down straight. Just make sure that no guards are looking when you're doing this, and you should be okay. It's not that difficult. Just make sure no one's looking.
Aren't you?
What's up with that?
You must be Ames. Keep still and listen to me. I'm not a terrorist. I got in here using one of their uniforms. I'm taking off the tape. Stay quiet.
Who told you about me?
An informer calling himself Mr. X, dressed like a ninja.
I see. Take this thing off me, will you? I'm Richard Ames.
Secret Service?
No, I was sent in by the Lali Lule Lo, just like you.
You what?
You're here to find out where the president is. We have little time, so I'll be brief. How about switching to nanocommunications first?
Nanocommunications?
Right, silence beats talk when it comes to safety. Are you on?
Right here. Do you really know where the president is?
Almost certainly. He was moved to the first floor of Shell 2's core section.
The first floor. The core of Shell 2. Is he still there?
I don't know. I can't get a response.
You don't think he's been like the other hostages? A hostage was killed in retaliation after the SEAL 10 disaster, remember?
What are you talking about? Regardless of what they do to other hostages, they won't touch the president.
What makes you so sure?
The case.
You mean the nuclear button they took?
Right. And the case won't do a thing by itself. That case may be the single most advanced example of a weapons failsafe system. The password is nothing less than the physiological data of the US president.
Physiological data?
The president's own vital signs, heartbeat, brainwave pattern, blood pressure and so on are constantly monitored and relayed by his internal nanomachines. This information, along with the DNA pattern, serve as a biometric password, unbreakable even by the latest parallel processor supercomputers. The password entry itself cannot be performed unless brainwave patterns and heartbeats fall within normal parameters, rendering chemical and other forms of coercion impractical. In other words, the login must be made of the president's own free will. As a failsafe, the input must also be reconfirmed hourly, even after the initial login. If a valid confirmation is not forthcoming, the system will automatically cancel the login.
And that's why they can't harm the president.
At least until the bird flies.
Is there really a new model of Metal Gear here?
Absolutely. The black case serves as the launch key to Metal Gear as well.
Why would they hide Metal Gear in an offshore plant?
Haven't they told you anything? The entire thing was planned. The oil spill, the tanker accident that caused it, everything. The big shell was built specifically for the development of a new Metal Gear model. The inspection tour was to check its progress.
What's going on around here?
Wait. Here comes Snake.
That's him?
Use the microphone to listen in.
Little thing to note here, this little scene that plays out can actually be skipped, so make sure you skip this scene. However, again, I'm doing 2 edits to show you guys, so make sure you skip this. Another little note, there is an Easter egg with Johnny taking a poo in the bathroom. If you want to go and check it out, that's up to you, but we're going to stick mainly to the story here.
Why, Dreas, Who knows? They're a band of lunatics to begin with. Nothing they do should come as a surprise.
I'll have his background rechecked, just in case.
You think he was working for them?
We can't discount the possibility, especially with that intruder still at large.
Yes. The man in the sneaking suit.
You know more about those suits than I do.
But Foxhound was disbanded 4 years ago. So it must be the Patriots. What about the damage to Shell 2?
The circulation system for the contaminated water has been damaged. The water being drawn in is overflowing, and the lower block of the central section is flooding.
Seal the connecting pathway between Shells 1 and 2.
The Simtex and IR sensors are already in place.
Any effect on it?
No.
What about the President?
The password entry has already been made to the black case. In 1 hour, we'll need a confirmation from him. His work is done after that.
Make sure you keep him alive until then.
Yes, I know.
What about the unit's activation?
Almost complete. The code has already been entered. All we need now is for the girl to start the system.
The usual method, I assume?
No. The drugs took care of everything.
Only a few more steps to outer heaven.
Who is that cyborg ninja, Shalashaska?
I cannot even guess.
What about you?
Into.
Olga, don't cast suspicion where it isn't due.
Where it isn't due? When you watched my father die and did nothing.
It's been 2 years ago, Olga. Let it go.
I read the case file for Shadow Moses, by the way.
Olga, how could you suspect me?
He's not one of my men.
How meaningful you make that sound. If Sergei were still alive...
If the old man were still alive, I wouldn't need to take orders from you.
Olga, Sergei was my best friend.
If you sell us out, I'll kill you myself.
Listen, daughter of Sergei. Don't ever let me see your gun pointed at me again.
If you wish, I'll put a bullet in your back instead.
Stop this infighting. I took you both in when no one else would. You think any government would have you as irregulars in this political climate? The worst kind of wet works, maybe. But even that's doubtful. I recommend against switching camps. You've nowhere left to go. It's happening again?
This damn right arm. Liquid! It's almost as if it's having its revenge.
How much do you think we spent on that arm in Lyon? The best transplant surgery team in the world.
I never trust a Frenchman. There's something going on. The incidents are becoming more frequent. Maybe that man's presence.
Ocelot, I leave this place in your hands. I have the intruder to take care of.
Yes, King.
Is that really Solid Snake?
That's what he claims.
I thought Snake was dead.
Solid Snake did die. But he's also here in the shell. Either he survived or there are 2 of them.
2 of them?
And that's impossible. Anyway, what did you manage to catch?
They said password input was complete.
I thought so.
You said the password entry into the black case had to be made by the president willingly.
That's right.
So this means the president is cooperating with them.
It would have to be, yes.
Why?
Definitely not.
Probably tired of being a puppet, but it wasn't a smart move to betray us.
Get real.
We're running out of time. They will fire a nuke. You know what you need to do before then.
Fire the
ignore
nuke,
me.
but it's nowhere close to the ransom deadline.
Ransom?
$30 billion in cash.
What are you babbling about? The nuclear strike is not a threat. It's been the objective all along.
They plan to slaughter millions of people.
No, a high-altitude detonation. You've heard of the Compton effect?
Total disruption of electronic equipment caused by EMMA pulse.
Textbook answer. Well, when an average nuclear warhead goes off within the atmosphere, the result is an electromagnetic pulse of up to 50 billion megawatts. The EMMA field can reach tens of thousands of volts per meter, and most electronic equipment will be toast in an instant.
If one of the key movers of world economy stops functioning, it could mean the beginning of a global depression.
But that isn't their aim. What they plan to do is liberate Manhattan, pull it offline and turn it into some kind of a republic. Hence, Sons of Liberty, I suppose.
Sons of Liberty?
Damn! Ocelot is coming. I'm going offline. Search my pocket. Hurry! It's a security card. You'll be able to unlock doors of up to level 3 security. Use it to get to Shell 2. Take care of the president before they launch the nuke. He's coming here. Pick up your AK.
What do you think you're doing?
I asked him to remove these. I'm ill, you see.
I always knew that the DIA turned out second-rate liars.
What are you talking about?
No need for denials. We know what you are, Colonel Ames. They knew that the president was planning to betray them. So they sent you in to keep tabs on him. Am I right?
You.
Sorry, Colonel. You failed to carry out your duties.
You'll never escape the Lali-Lulelo.
Is that so? What the?
You tricked me. I understand now. Ocelot.
You? Which team are you with? Show me your face. You know who he is.
No, he is not one of mine.
Identify yourself. We meet at last. Is alive.
Hurry, get away!
But you died.
Leave this to me.
Colonel, Ames is dead. Looked like a heart attack.
That's unfortunate. However, we do at least know where the president is.
So there really is a new type of Metal Gear in this place?
Apparently. We're still looking into it.
I've also been told that the nuclear strike was what the terrorists were after from the start, not the $30 billion.
Right. It was a cover-up all along.
Colonel, what are you keeping from me?
I am not keeping back anything. It's not as though I'm told all the facts either. I'm pulling in all the favors I can to look into all this. Just be a little patient. Our priority should be with the president right now. We can take it that they've completed the password entry and are preparing Metal Gear for a nuclear strike. Get to the president as soon as possible.
But the president is cooperating with them.
According to Ames, yes. But it's also true that they're about to get rid of the president. There's something else going on here, and the president may be able to tell you what it is when you see him in person. Once they get the confirmation for nuclear launch, they'll do it. You need to rescue the president before then.
Jack, I agree with the Colonel. You need to protect the president for now.
All right.
All right, here, once you're ready, go ahead and get up against this wall and just wait for him. You don't need to mess with him. Obviously, if you want to be just a few seconds quicker, you could probably use your cool-in or something like that to kind of distract him, or just hold him up your normal way, taking him out. But like I said, if I can find a way to try to get around the enemies, I always prefer to do that. There is just a few sections where you can't do that because it's just too many enemies in one location, or there's a lot of cameras or something like that. But other than that, I usually always try to avoid enemies whenever I can. It just makes it more challenging and fun. So here we're going to wait. Enemy guard coming right there. Take him out. I tried many times to see if I can get around him, but with what he's doing, you just really can't. You're going to have to take these guards out as well. So go ahead and line up headshots. Make sure you wait till that guy goes past the little thing on the left there, because there is a guard looking on the left and you don't want him to see the body. Take out the last camera there just so that we're good. And then don't go too far ahead to where he sees you. Go ahead and take him out, and then you're good to go and you can move on to the next section. Grab these items as well. So there's many different methods for this section. You can throw a chaff grenade and run through, but you do have one guy that you have to worry about that's all the way at the top of the helipad. We'll take him out as well. So I just prefer not to use a chaff grenade here and actually take out the ciphers. That's why I picked up extra SOCOM ammo. And the reason that we're doing this is taking out these ciphers right here is going to mean that they're not going to be here when we come back through. And that's a very, very important thing. So now we're just going to take out him. And then we're going to step very carefully because, you know, these things will all drop or whatever. But the reason that we're just doing this is mainly for waiting time. As you can see, there's a caution right now. And if we were to go into the next room with the caution, there's going to be way more guards. Obviously, we love a challenge, but, you know, with the way that we're trying to do it is we also want to make it easy for everyone else out there. This is if you're playing this for your first time and you're trying to get that coveted European extreme difficulty with Big Boss ranking. So once that's done, everything will turn to normal and you can go into this section and it will be normal. What I'm going to do here is something you probably don't see in a lot of other people's walkthroughs. I try to make it a little different. We're not going to take a single person out here. We're going to let everyone go and just find unique ways of distracting enemies in certain locations and areas so that we're able to get what we need to get. So inside here is going to be some extra PSG-1T ammo if you need it, but you really don't need it because you're going to get an ample supply. I'm just letting you know that if that's something that you want, you can pick that up there. We're just doing this mainly based off of time. Everything is done because of where enemies are going to be once you wait and do certain things. So as you can see, this guy is here. We can go along this side and get around him and then pick up the PSG-1T and then the PSG-1. You want to have both because one is going to be needed to take out all of the bombs up ahead, and then the other one's going to be needed for the fight further on in the game. We're going to come back over here and pick up these SOCOM bullets. We're going to make sure no one's looking. There's going to be a guy coming over here, so you want him to notice you just slightly. So once he starts to come around, we're going to kind of peek out just a few times until we see that he has an exclamation point and then go back to right where we were. Get down. Just to have him look. Once he turns around, then we're going to go ahead and move forward and get around him. And there you go. The other guy should be moving the other direction at the time, and you were able to get by that room without taking a single soldier out. Again, you don't have to do that. It doesn't make it any... all it does is just add challenge, but it also just, I don't know, it just makes it so much more fun knowing that we were able to keep everyone alive there. And as you can see, everything is still normal as it was back out here because it was in normal. and it didn't switch, so therefore you don't have to take out the ciphers again. The guy is not there, and you're good to go. Go ahead and switch to your box. It doesn't matter which box. We're going to be moving to the left, and you should be able to just continually move straight. Even if this guard perceives you to the right here, it doesn't matter. You'll still be able to move straight, but as you can see, if you keep to the left wall, you should be fine. And at this point, we can move straight through this next section as well. No one is here to mess with us because, remember, we took out the guard that would have been here. We knocked him out, and he just stays knocked out, so you don't have to worry about him. This section can be a little tricky. I tried to do it without taking anyone out, but I was able to actually do it. It didn't seem stealthily, you know, the way that I had to do it. So all you want to do is do a distraction bullet there to take him out, and then another bullet to take this guy out, and then there you go. Otherwise, you can use the box and slowly start to move forward. You have to judge the timing. It's very difficult and will take you multiple tries to do it. I did do it, but I didn't feel that it was necessary for this section.